Namaskar. This is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to TechBits on Business and Finance with me. The latest news on the Shrey Group of Calcutta, which consists of two large NBFCs, which is Shrey Infrastructure Finance and Shrey Equipment Finance. The news is that two independent firms have been appointed in order to parallelly conduct a forensic audit of its state of affairs of its books of accounts. These two companies collectively owe about 30,000 crores to various creditors and lenders. 20,000 crores is what it owes to various banks, and 10,000 crores is what it owes to bondholders and other financial institutions. These two companies have already been defaulting on the repayment of their debt, and initial estimates say that about 30% of the loans that they have taken are not serviceable. In other words, they are fit to be written off. The group faces charges of massive siphoning of funds, diversion of funds, and manipulation of its books of accounts. It is for these reasons that the group's finances have been doddering, it has been defaulting on its repayments. KPMG has been appointed by banks in order to conduct a forensic audit, a review and investigation of the books of accounts of the two companies for the past 4 to 5 years. It is based on the findings of this forensic audit to be conducted by KPMG that banks will be able to decide whether they will or they ought to or whether they can restructure and realign the debt that the two companies owe to various banks. The other forensic auditor has been appointed by the management of the company. The management says that its independent directors have advised it to appoint another parallel forensic auditor to investigate the books of accounts of the company, and that they say has been done in accordance with norms of good corporate governance. The fact of the matter is that forensic audit is being conducted by these two firms in addition to the investigation which is going on by the Reserve Bank of India into the affairs, into the books of accounts of these two Shrey companies. Reserve Bank started its investigation sometime in November last year, and it had to do that. It started that because of the sudden and sharp deterioration of the asset quality of these two companies. There has been a glaring mismatch of asset and liabilities, and suddenly there has been a default and repayment of debts by the company. The Reserve Bank's investigation is because of these reasons. Reports also say that the company is being investigated by Income Tax Department and also by the GST Department to look into allegations of widespread irregularities in tax compliance and giant tax evasion allegations that have surfaced. All these audits are being conducted, all these investigations are being conducted in addition to the routine statutory audit of the two companies that takes place under the Companies Act, under the Income Tax Act, under the GST Act. Also, audit being conducted on a concurrent basis by the lenders to the company. The fact of the matter is that in case the statutory auditor which ought to be conducted was done in a proper manner and the truth and the findings had actually been revealed, then perhaps the appointment of all these forensic auditors and the investigation being conducted by the Reserve Bank might just not have been necessary. What is expected of the statutory audit perhaps has not taken place, and thus the need to appoint forensic auditors, the need for Reserve Bank of India to conduct an additional investigation in the affairs of the two companies. It has been common news, a common phenomena, a common feature nowadays to hear of the appointment of multiple auditors, forensic auditors, and investigators to look into the state of affairs of various entities. This takes place when it is found that the statutory audit, which is supposed to reveal the truth of the state of affairs of a firm, did not do so. That results in the appointment of additional auditors, additional investigators. We saw that in the case of the ILFS group. We saw it happening in the case of DHFL. Multiple auditors were appointed in the case of the PMC Bank, Yes Bank, Reliance Capital, Reliance Communications, Bhushan Steel Group, Bhushan Power, Zoom Developers, India Bulls, and so many others. The common feature whenever these kind of multiple appointments take place is that you're dealing with a delinquent management, a management that indulge in large-scale siphoning and diversion of funds of companies and thereafter it also indulged in financial and management irregularities and manipulation of financial statements. That's a common feature whenever these kind of multiple appointments take place. These kind of appointments indicate a systemic failure in these large entities, and also collapse of corporate governance and regulatory compliance in these entities. The appointment of a forensic auditor obviously means a lot of adverse implications whenever it is appointed. It first means that there has been failure of statutory audit, there has been failure of regulatory supervision, there has been failure of the regulator, independent director, bankers and lenders to keep a check, to keep a control on the errant and fraudulent management and promoters. So the first implication of appointment of a forensic auditor is a failure to keep a check on fraudulent and delinquent managements. The second is that it obviously happens because there has been a major siphoning, diversion of funds from these entities. Public funds have been taken away by the management, and there have been major financial and accounting irregularities. That is what leads to the appointment of a forensic auditor. And that also says, as we say, that the statutory auditors had perhaps not done their job correctly. These crimes sadly always takes place whenever the stakes are the most. We have seen these kind of frauds and failures take place in large entities where there is large flow of public money and where the control on the promoters and the directors should have been the maximum, and that did not take place, leading to the appointment of forensic auditors. The other inferences, whenever a forensic auditor is appointed and a forensic audit is conducted, is that the numerous, several, multiple, overlapping and stringent laws and regulations that we have in India, all of which together govern a corporate entity, they failed to prevent. They failed to prevent the management of those entities from committing large-scale frauds, from indulging in giant-size financial and banking irregularities and siphoning of money. The other implication is that every big entity where a forensic auditor has been appointed, which includes the likes of Shrey, which included the likes of ILFS, in all these entities, big names are involved as auditors, as statutory auditors, as tax consultants, as management consultants, as independent directors, etc. All of them, somehow or the other, have been party to the fraud and the failure that took place in these entities, whether knowingly or unknowingly. That raises a question, and the question is that is forensic audit the new norm as far as audits is concerned? Is a forensic style of working now going to be imperative for the auditors, especially when they are auditing the large entities that we are talking about? This raises two pertinent questions. The first one is forensic the new norm as far as conduct of audits is concerned, especially when we talk about large enterprises? And the second question is the NFRA chairman right when he says that forget the example of watchdog and bloodhound that auditors like to say and contend that they are watchdogs and not bloodhound, and that the auditors must approach their work with doubt, ever vigilant that there can be frauds, there can be errors, whether intentional or otherwise. The NFRA chairman also says that an auditor should be willing to be an investigator and that he just cannot shy away from that. According to us, the answer to both these questions is a yes. Forensic, as far as audit of large enterprises is concerned, seems to be the new norm. And as far as the job of an auditor is concerned, as the NFRA chairman says, it is not just of being a watchdog, as the auditor says, they are also required to be bloodhounds. This is in line with the evolving, prevailing perception and thinking which is there about the auditors. This is the expectation that is there of the auditors, of the general public, of the various stakeholders, of the lenders, of the bankers, of the government of India, of the tax authorities, and also of international partners and various entities. Thus, when it comes to the audit of large enterprises, we think forensic attitude is the new norm as far as audit is concerned. And even when we talk about audit of small entities, we think that the auditor cannot compromise his integrity and independence, because after all, it is on the basis of such integrity and independence that he is able to justify, he is able to attest financial statements as true and fair. So in both the cases, to some degrees, the forensic element does creep in, and we think it is on the basis of this benchmark that the conduct of auditors is going to be tested in India in times to come. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here you can be our supporter by paying rupees 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying rupees 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our super supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.